Cool. Hello.
Hi. I do.
So yeah, I think that's a good way to ease people in, as if you're a neighbour. Hello. As if we're two gay dads who just moved in. Hello.
We're just putting out the rubbish.
Hello.
Hi there. Hello.
Yeah.
And they're just moving in the house.
They've lived there for a while in suburbia.
Right.
And straight people have moved in.
So who's they?
We're
So the listeners
straight,
have just
there's
moved
a conservative straight family who moved across.
And we're a bit worried they're not going to accept our lifestyle.
Exactly. We're sort of a symbol of how much progress the gay community's made.
Yes.
Because we're living in suburbia. We have we have a Volvo in the drive.
Yeah. A massive garage.
Yeah. A massive
one of those
garage.
sliding door garages.
A tame sex life.
Very tame. So we like vanilla, we like missionary sex. We're not into all this BDSM stuff.
Because we feel comfortable in our place in society, so we don't need to...
We don't have any sexual trauma.
There doesn't have to be any sort of revolutionary act in the bondage.
All we are is a couple of successful gay guys living in suburbia who've done well for themselves.
Yeah, like Tim Cook, Apple, that he's sort of that's our sort of vibe.
Maybe not as successful.
Not as successful, but he's sort of we're a big fan of his. We're a big fan of his.
We've got some.
We're like gay capitalists.
We're gay capitalists. We're right wing gays. We're firmly right wing.
More like socially liberal, but
economically
fiscally conservative for sure.
You can sell a lot from a hello, can't you?
Yeah, and you can just tell that. Hello. You just know. You know, when the riots started happening, they were the first people to say, "This is we should have more police presence. We should not have undermined
because
police
safety is important.
Safety is important.
Look, I'm all for people expressing themselves, and I'm all for protests. I'm gay.
They say that all the time.
We were around in the 80s.
Okay. We're gay.
We get it. But
we have a lot of money now.
We do, and we want to protect our property. We have a Volvo in the drive. Have we got any kids? I don't think we have.
No, I don't. I think we're actually kind of narcissistic in a way.
Yeah.
Because we're so upset. We're very career focused and sort of without the pressure to have kids. Yeah. I think the fact that we've been living such a great life does mean. I once went to Zimbabwe and I was staying in a hotel where I ran into an Australian gay couple.
Right.
I was with my dad and my sister, and we ran into them. And we made friends with them, holiday friends. They're a right laugh.
A big old laugh. Great.
Both of them were great. They're kind of Greek Australians.
Yeah.
But then it was the kind of collapse of a marriage. So there were two married gay men, and both of them, though with us they were friends, their relationship was falling apart.
How did you know they were falling
apart? Because whenever the other one went away, they would open
up.
And they were so like. I guess as British people, it felt uncomfortable just how vulnerable they were. Not uncomfortable, but I wouldn't be comfortable doing that, and I respected how comfortable they were. You know, for example, a great moment when one of them went to the toilet. One went to bed
as quick as going to the toilet.
Not toilet. Okay. One of them went up to bed.
Yeah.
The other one said, "Can I have a cigarette?" And then he smoked it, and you could see the relief in his body because he's not allowed to smoke cigarettes because Dimitri doesn't fucking like it when I smoke cigs. But fuck Dimitri, fuck Dimitri, man. So that was very bizarre.
Well, I hope we never get like that.
I hope, but they certainly gave off that sort of vibe.
Yeah.
Successful. They were right wing as well.
Yeah.
They their views on like Australian history was like, well, we didn't kill the Aborigines, so I don't.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Really good. Really excellent.
I don't know why this
really,
is all
really ruins the story at the end, doesn't it? We met these two lovely gay open couple, and then bam.
Yeah. What happens in Zimbabwe stays in Zimbabwe. You know.
It's true. It's true. It's a place. Do you think they were going there to save their marriage and it was unsuccessful?
I think so. It felt like the death throes of.
Well, I guess if they're spending all their time with you.
Yeah.
Maybe complaining about one another.
Well, yeah, and I think definitely, and they were kind of using us as a medium in which to express their anger.
Do you reckon they said, "Let's go to Zimbabwe for some counselling from another white family"?
I think so. I certainly like to think so. But how are you? Are you doing all right?
I'm doing grand.
Yeah.
Everything's going swimmingly.
Yeah.
There's nothing really of a mad update.
How's work? Do you hate it more or less, or is it kind of?
It's kind of plateaued.
Is it?
I remember hating it more, and now it's just you just get on with it.
It's like a dull noise.
Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a frustration in the background that you get used to.
Yeah, it's this slight, slight ringing in your ears.
That exists. Yeah. And you find yourself going through the motions on a daily basis now you're thinking.
We got a very aggressive letter today, and seeing as we've been harassed by TV license.
I did some things on the weekend I'm not proud of.
It sounds like a joke, but
Hey, that's not true. I was very responsible this weekend. I was actually a caretaker for a friend who got very drunk.
Yeah, really?
He got very, very drunk. Yeah.
Paul?
Ali.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Yeah. And
we went to Giuseppe's, which is a great thing in London Bridge, where it's you know it very well. You showed me it, which is an Italian restaurant where they move the tables out and it becomes a...
How was it?
Dance.
Oh yeah, this place is the best. It's for some reason in London Bridge, in the middle of London, on a Saturday night.
I think it's London's best kept secret.
I would say so. I don't think even Time Out would talk about this. For some reason, all pubs start shutting at like 11 p.m. on a Saturday.
But not this Italian restaurant.
But then there's this bizarre Italian restaurants where you said they don't move the tables.
That's true.
They don't move the tables.
They move some of
this small Italian bistro
true.
Basement that stays open till 4 a.m. with ridiculously priced drinks, but they've got this huge... I think they've changed it now, but certainly when I went there first, they had it... The way they'd play music was they'd have 2 tabs open playing YouTube songs.
Yeah.
And just as the last one was finishing, they'd play the other one and pause the other one.
Which is fair play, man.
But the person doing it would also be serving limoncello shots.
Which is the vibe you want.
Which is,
that sounds great.
It's incredible. And the first time I went there was when there was someone in a wheelchair, fully physically disabled, in the middle of this really cramped dance floor, shouting at anyone who touched her.
It's also
it was the maddest thing because there was no room to move around, and there was this woman in a wheelchair just being like, "Stop touching me!" And it's like there's literally literally blocked.
Everyone's touching everyone. It's kind of inevitable. Also,
it was wild.
It's one of the steepest staircases.
Yeah, very steep. It was a very steep staircase.
Getting up and down must have been.
But they barely moved the tables, and so it's just all rammed in. And I'd say I'd highly recommend Giuseppe's. Did it deliver again?
It delivers every time. It delivers every time. There was a rumor that Giuseppe himself was there.
Really?
There was a strong rumor that's Giuseppe. I didn't believe it. I said hogswash to the people who said that hogswash. I
always get, if I'm in there, I know I'm pissed out of my fucking mind. Always.
Yeah, everyone.
I've never gone in there like gently drunk.
We actually went in there a little bit too early when it was still a restaurant.
Oh, really?
And that was a terrifying sight to see. As you go down, there's people sitting enjoying Italian meal. It's almost like a sequel the way it's like, not now. Later. Come back in now. Stop it. You're not welcome here now. You'll let them know. But just like this, just looking at a family having a nice Saturday night meal.
Yeah, you don't know what's going to happen.
You have no idea what I'm about to do in here, and it's disgusting. And what I did in there last weekend. When I first went there, I was ordering some whiskey, and as I've said on the podcast, drinking whiskey opens some doors in some places. And
how do you mean?
For some reason, like in Napoli, people who if you go to like a bar or clearly an Italian restaurant in London Bridge, people love, when you order a whiskey, they love showing you the whiskies that they have. And often that comes free of charge. If you show an interest in whiskey, I've had so many free whiskies. Yeah, they just, I'll try that one. Giuseppe's, I'm not exaggerating. They were giving me free whiskies, massive fucking glasses of it, saying, try that one. They really like it.
How much did you pay for?
None. They didn't. They gave it to me free.
That is mental.
It's mental.
Because it's also so expensive there.
Yeah, I know. And then Ali was with me at that point, and then he said he came back the next couple of weeks later saying he was getting free whiskies, and they were calling him Andrew. But I really didn't make that big an impression on them. It's not like I went in all guns blazing. I swear. I didn't. I would have been a bit cheeky, but not enough to warrant them.
They clearly
they clearly don't remember me enough to remember what face I have.
Yeah.
But they remember me enough to give me a free whiskey when I go in. But Ali, speaking of, he got famously drunk on that evening, and I was holding him up for a good hour. Yeah. But then there was one point that I realised that There was one point I was making sure he wasn't falling over / bumping into people. But there was one point that I realised that he was just not bothering to stand up because I'd been holding him up for so long. He was just leaning on me. So I had to have a shout at him saying, you need to at least make an effort here, pal. He got kicked out pretty swiftly-ish and then we left there.
Fair enough.
But that was Giuseppe's.
But the letter wasn't about this. We had a letter... a scary letter saying removal was in big red letters, was it? And then it was like, we've tried many different avenues. You could see in the little window, there was a peek into what seemed like a massive essay, a very aggressive thing. And seeing as we've had our own run-ins with TV license and different things, I was certainly nervous. And also noise complaints early doors when we first arrived. So it felt like...
You think it's a debt recovery company responding to a noise complaint that happened a year ago?
No, it wasn't clear it was a debt recovery company. It had big red letters. It had big red letters.
Did you think a company or someone was responding to a noise complaint that was made by our neighbours, not to the council, over a year ago?
No, I think I in my head I thought it was something about the fact that the front of our house isn't that clean or something like that.
Do you think? Yeah.
But it was to an old tenant talking about an outstanding debt of £513.
Not the highest debt.
Not at all. But clearly he hasn't been paying this debt.
Yeah.
And
hasn't changed his address.
Yeah, but in the letter it said that they were legally going to start removing goods and that they'd already removed a vehicle. Did it say that?
No, so they will. It said, that someone's come over to remove goods, which can include vehicles.
Okay.
So they didn't say they removed a vehicle, because otherwise they've come to our house where the suspect doesn't live and started stealing cars. Essentially, one of our flatmates has a car. I did check to make sure it's still out there. Can you imagine? Just the worst debt recovery service. Just don't do any research and just come to houses that they were once registered at. No, we have a right to do so. Because also, the majority, like so many people, especially if you're looking at, I know the previous tenants were our kind of age. Like who's living by themselves in London? Almost no one. So like if they manage to get into the property to be able to remove shit, like you've got to find out whose room it is and stuff like that. You can't. Do you reckon they just come in and just start taking? I mean,
I don't want to call because I could easily call them up and say, by the way, you got the wrong address.
No, we got to stick with Michael here.
I want to hold the line for Michael because we clearly don't know what he's done, but I assume that it wasn't his fault.
But we stand with him,
and we're like, Michael, don't pay the man. Don't give in to the fucking. Don't let the man. Stay strong.
Stay strong. I will forfeit all of my possessions. So I
love it if he comes to the door and like, is Michael here? And then I'm like, I'm Michael.
I'm Michael.
Like,
take it all.
I'm Michael.
And then the whole street starts shouting. I'm Michael. I am Michael. This guy,
we all get executed, but
he only owes 500 quid.
And he's like, sorry, and then he sends it off.
Oh, sorry, that was an admin area. Come on, Mike.
The whole of Robury Street.
But I am, because obviously he's not. They would have been contacted him via email and phone as well. They don't just send letters. Did they put it in the letterbox as well? Or was it under the door?
I think I just found it on the map. Oh, under the door.
They put it under the door.
So they must know.
That's so much more serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's them saying, like,
check
we're fucking here. Yeah. Because our letterbox is full of...
Well, it's exciting because it's like, there's someone really angry, but we're completely in the right. So it's like, it's enjoyable because they're really angry,
and they think,
it can get really serious. But we have a parachute.
Well, it's nothing to do with us.
I know.
So it's not even that we're in the right to have a parachute. They're angry at the wrong people. They've just got the completely wrong house. This is what's gonna happen. I really would.
So what do you think What do you think would the next step even be?
I cannot wait. If this is the kind of thing with the TV license people, we're in the wrong, but we have a good strategy in order to navigate that, and yet. They've set many a date that they're going to come over, and many a date has passed.
Well, the TV license thing is mad, to be honest, because it's like, well, also most people don't pay it, but because we're because most people are in a block of flats and it's really hard to find out.
Yeah.
But because it's such a vulnerable place, the TV license people keep coming. But there is something so funny about their tactics as an industry, which is for the last year and a half, maybe
since we've moved here.
Yeah, so maybe around.
I reckon it happened a month after we moved here. Not far off 2 years.
So, they've been saying. Pay your TV license. Seriously, pay your TV license. And then this is the amount of progression of letters.
Joke's over,
pay
guys.
your license. Seriously, guys. Pay your
it's not funny anymore.
All right. We literally check people's houses every day.
We come and investigate this many houses a week.
If you don't
in your area,
if you don't pay your we're gonna find you out. And
we're going to come to your house.
And this is like 8 letters, just constantly.
And then suddenly it gets red and big.
And then it's like, right,
that's enough.
Final warning.
Pay your license.
Nothing, didn't respond again.
Okay, we're coming.
And then it was like, okay, we're coming soonish.
Soon. So pay it.
And then it went, okay, we're coming. And it said like December 13th.
Yeah. December 13th went by.
And then we're like, okay, we'll just find out what happens. December 13th goes by.
Nothing.
Then it goes, all right, we're seriously going to come. A couple more letters,
We've been
and then
loads
it's like
of dates.
now it's then the last one was in January. We're coming on this date, so make sure you're in.
Yeah. They keep there's different. We get them frequently now with different dates that are going to happen, and I reckon at one point we're just going to get one saying, "Fair play, guys.
Fair play.
You've won."
Or maybe we become the head of the BBC.
I think that's what happens. Then we'll be in charge of enforcing
that's how the progression keeps slowing.
Yes. It's like
who can hold out the longest.
It's a really fucked up job interview of just showing your mettle. And I think our tactic is, it's a shame because the TV license is like something I'd probably want to pay.
Yeah, I believe in it definitely.
Yeah.
As a value, I think public service broadcasting should be paid.
Then we did a whole thing about the TV license at one point. So it's a shame that like we're dying on this hill. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But it's the easiest one to not pay.
But also, 125 quid a year to watch Match of the Day does sometimes feel a bit steep.
Is it? Well, it's technically you need it to watch
all
anything.
live TV. But I'm like, all right,
even like Sky Player and stuff.
Yeah, I know, but we're not paying for that. We're paying for Sky Player ourselves.
Yeah.
They're just lumping that in to pay for the BBC, which I believe.
The BBC isn't on Sky Player. Oh, that's a curveball, isn't it?
Yeah.
Haven't thought of that one, have they?
But
I hope
they're scrapping the license fee, and I believe they should, and find a different model, because the license fee is not going to work for younger people. No one at uni paid it. They don't enforce it. If you're a young person, it's a shitload of money.
Yeah.
Either make it like
it really seems
less for young people.
It really seems like the last
this flat rate.
Yeah,
for people, no matter how much you have, to pay for something that feels...
Because it was back in that... It kind of worked back in the day where people used to buy into the idea of the BBC. Yeah. Which doesn't really exist as much anymore.
Exactly. Or even
since they axed BBC 3.
And also, because watching live TV doesn't happen as much either, so it doesn't feel as much of a, like, your only source of entertainment.
Well, the thing is, I definitely get my money's worth from the license.
Because you watch loads of live TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a big daytime TV guy.
Quiz show.
But then, so what? I've had a lot of myths about, or maybe myths, but urban legends about how they find out if you're watching live TV. I've heard of some sort of device.
I've heard of a van.
And they've got, which I'm like, I have not seen any pictures of this. I believe that in my head. Do you know what? I think there's one person working on getting all the TV.
Who delivers all the letters around?
I think there's one person on a computer.
Is in charge of all the enforcement visits.
I think there's literally no physical arm to enforcement. I think there's one person who just...
Have you ever met someone who works in license fee enforcement?
No.
Neither have I.
Nor have I. I've not seen the vans
and I bet
around.
everyone that's listened to this podcast hasn't either.
Well, message in if you have. I've seen the vans. I've never seen the vans. I've never seen this device, not even images.
They exist.
Tell me how that device works. That they can scan if you've ever watched live TV? Or is it if you're... I can imagine them scanning to see if you're watching live TV during. I can imagine a technology that can do that. Yeah. But not one...
But it seems a bit advanced for a branch of the BBC that seem to never do anything. It seems like it's quite hackerish technology when they don't do anything about it. It feels like maybe it's a bit of a waste of spending if it is the case. Because it's like, great, I'm doing it, now do something about it.
Maybe they've got one, they've afforded one, and it's sort of that Victorian prison, that thing which is like, you might always be watched, but you don't know who's watching you. Everyone. It's like we've got one of these, so we could come.
It's
all about.
It's probably they've got a fucking record of which like properties are paying it and which aren't, and then they just presume most people are watching TV in some way.
But because everyone is
exactly
in some way, and everyone's consuming the BBC.
So everyone. So it's
but
just
if they can't prove it,
if they can't prove it, then fuck it. But with the debt enforcement, I'm just hoping two massive guys come to this house.
BBC guys.
Like, fuck it. No, I think like private debt recovery would be a lot more serious than the BBC license fee recovery.
Just the guys with the big BBC lanyard.
Imagine if we get roughed up by the BBC. But like, have you seen? Because there's like debt recovery programs and stuff.
Yeah.
Where it's like pretty terrifying guys who come round. But these are people who are like 20 grand in debt or something, not 500 quid. But I really hope the two big guys.
Wait, is this for not for the TV?
Not for the debt
this
recovery.
Is for the Michael's debt.
Michael's debt.
Yeah.
We are Michael. Hashtag we are Michael. But I really hope just two massive guys come up, because there's nothing more satisfying than someone knocking on your door with righteous indignation.
Yeah.
And you just been, you've got the wrong address, mate.
Really?
Right.
Do you know where he's gone?
No, you're having me on, pal. Show me where Michael is. And I'll be, give me a moment. I'm just going to go get some documents. And I'll come out and I'll show the rent contract and show who lives here as of when. And
you would love that.
That's my fucking... I would have a raging erection for the entire time of that interaction. Just like.
Do you think that would undermine it if you had a
massive?
If you so.
No,
clear...
I think they'd be like, "Don't fuck with this guy."
What, a much weedier person than them?
Yeah.
Showing the document.
Showing them documents of a massive
unbelievable
boner.
erection.
Yeah.
He's not put into his waistband. It's just.
But like it not. Out. But it not. I think because why would intimidate them? Because it wouldn't change my behaviour whatsoever.
No.
I'd just be there, still just showing them the documents calmly, rationally, debunking them, just knowing that they can see my
rock hard,
knowing they can see my massive erection, and I can see them looking at it. But I'm going, yeah, this is the truth. He doesn't live here. You've got the wrong address, I'm afraid, fellas. I think you best be on your way now, because you've disturbed me whilst I'm in the middle of work. And there's no possessions for you to repossess here, because I'm afraid Michael doesn't live there, as I've already stated to you before. Now, if you wouldn't mind closing your door on the way out.
And then you stand, arms on your side.
And then I'm slowly coming. Then you can slowly see the seepage out onto my trousers.
Take away from it.
No,
I think that
I don't shudder. I don't shudder. I don't make a different move. I'm still standing there. And I think that's all. I think that's all we have time here for, fellas. You best be on your way now. Okay.
Quite weird. It got weirdly sexual with the
because he's looking down and they're going, "Oh shit! I better get away from this guy." Who knows what that man is capable of?
Well, if you can come without shuddering.
Yeah, if he can have a sustained conversation and a sustained argument with someone with a massive erection, and then at the end, it's almost because there's the implication that I've timed when I've come, because this happens at the end.
Yeah.
So like that's me saying, "I think our time's done here now," and I'll say that as I'm coming.
Yeah.
That is almost a god rather than a man.
I think an effective way to get the BBC TV license, because obviously there's a lot of rules and regulations about the BBC, so they can't use muscle. But I think they could certainly use kind of more metropolitan liberal lefty sort of guilt tactics. So I feel if they send
creatives are suffering,
or something like sending Brian Cox or Louis Theroux to be like, "Come on, man, like,
oh please give us." Can you do it first?
The debt is fucking massive.
Look,
the debt is fucking massive.
We can't work under these conditions. The BBC's underfunded.
You know, so the debt is really big.
If you imagine the universe, you imagine that's massive. It doesn't compare to the BBC's debt. It's like bigger than that.
Or if they send Louis Theroux to pretend that he's interviewing someone as if you're a part of their documentary.
Yeah.
Immediately you'll feel like a bad guy, I feel.
Yeah.
If you've got Louis Theroux asking you questions and being kind of like...
But then he's on the phone in between takes, being just like struggling to pull the production together because he just doesn't have the funding there. I'm not sure how we're going to... we might have to cut these guys from the film.
Because I watched the last two Louis Theroux ones, the Atlanta rapper ones, and the new Porn Stars.
He's back on the Porn Stars
back on the new Porn Stars.
Okay.
And the Porn's Me Too, so it's about... And
all
male porn stars are creepy.
Yes.
They're all, from my experience, from watching that documentary, even ones who didn't look seemingly, they're all, with female porn stars, there's a vulnerability there. There's a lot built into how they might have ended up there. But for some reason, so one of the people that he discussed in his porn one was this guy who'd been accused a lot of Me Too things, was this big bald French guy.
Sexual assault,
yeah.
That's
what did I say?
These Me Too
all of this fucking all this whining,
all this whinging and nonsense is happening.
Sorry, sexual assault on a systematic level. This French 40-year-old bald guy who specialised in the POV cameras of meeting a young 18-year-old girl and taking her anal virginity for the first time.
A masterpiece.
And that's especially
akin to French.
And a lot of people had, weren't too happy with their experience working on set. But he fully went to speak to Louis and stuff. And then there was the Atlanta rapper one, which I guess was less of a judgmental one than the porn one. But I don't know how I'd feel if I was invited to speak to Louis Theroux.
If a French bald man took your anal virginity.
No, I know exactly.
You'd have to be in that situation.
I know.
Oh, you know?
I know exactly.
Go on.
I know exactly how I'd feel.
How?
I would feel violated.
You'd feel bad?
Yeah, I'd feel bad. I'd feel upset.
Don't knock it till you try it.
I'd feel upset.
Yeah,
but if Louis Theroux said, I'm going to interview you, no fucking way. Clearly, I'm mental.
Yeah.
And I don't know it. Clearly, I don't know.
Well, there's your problem. He's mental and doesn't know it.
Yeah, but
that's the joy.
You watch Louis. Surely they do now. Louis Theroux's big enough that everyone who speaks to him basically knows vaguely who he is. Do a bit of research. Everyone comes off bad in the documentary, apart from Louis Theroux. Everyone he speaks to,
it's not always true. Some people come off like crazier than others. So
there's the aggressive ones, like the far right ones.
Some
then there's
people come
like
off
swingers
quite,
and stuff.
Right, yeah.
It's always got an underlying thing of I wouldn't want to be these people. Which I've started realising more and more. We did that British TV sketch for
weird.
Funnily enough, the British TV sketch we did of it being like, and they're fat and they're gay, that was actually a lot more on the surface of what Louis Theroux's actually doing very subtly.
Yeah.
It's the same sort. It comes from the same
thing.
And
they're weird. Yeah, I mean, it was called Weird Weekends,
It's the weirdness. But Louis Theroux's like, wow, I'm like a scientist looking at these fucking freaks. And instead, the other ones are like, these guys are gross. They're fat, ugly, and poor.
And then they realise
instead, Louis Theroux's like, wow, what's it like being fat, ugly, and poor?
Yeah.
So as
no judgment.
So as someone who's fat, ugly, and poor, do you find it tough?
Being fat, ugly, and poor.
Being fat, ugly, and poor, but the implicit.
Well, now that you mention I'm fat, ugly, and poor, it's sometimes not that easy being fat, ugly, and poor. But I've got a different group of people that you can meet. And then it's the voiceover,
Tim is fat, ugly, and poor. Sadly, you know, and it.
No, it's.
I went to meet fat, ugly, and poor. Tim.
Yeah, maybe he has lied.
I think there's a little bit.
I think there's
an implicit and like as charming and likable and brilliant as Louis Theroux is.
Yeah.
His like very posh,
his MO.
High elite level, culturally elite kind of thing does ring true harder than a lot of the trashier British TV shows. The people there, like that
At
guy,
least they were honest.
They were like northern gay dudes, the camp dudes. That the fat guy who's like massive fatty bombati. It felt like
the guy.
It felt like the power dynamic was at least slightly off there. That guy used to be fat. He's northern. He's gay.
Do you think? Well, because part
Louis
of
Theroux is a skinny, good-looking, posh, but subtly good-looking.
But it's subtly good-looking. I think it's maybe it's because it's a different kind of program, obviously. And I think in a way, because what Louis is trying to do is assimilate into the culture to a certain extent, or at least with the people that he's with.
Yeah.
To try and show the truth of them. Yeah. As in to make them feel comfortable enough to be themselves, so he can get good footage.
Yeah.
And that in itself makes what you see even worse. Because if you have someone coming through your house who's calling you fat and horrible, your guard's going to be
through your house.
Well,
chasing you through.
He's like the TV license man. You're fat, aren't you? Be in this show. No.
Fat and horrible. I like that. Yeah, someone calling you horrible.
Yeah, come on. You know what I'm saying. If you agree to go on a documentary and someone comes to your house, not through your house, and he's going, look at this fat person. Yeah. And then your guard's going to be up a bit more. Whereas Louis and these kind of documentaries, they're subtly bringing it out.
The voiceover.
They're saying it in the voiceover. So that makes them, in a way, it's meaner.
You're not fat. This man was fat.
In a way, it's meaner.
Yeah.
Because it gives them a false sense of security.
It makes them open up more.
It's almost like come dine with me.
Okay. The floor is yours.
The floor is mine. When, although a lot more lighthearted, you're going to get rollocked on it for anything you do.
By who?
David Lamb, the narrator, or Mike Lamb.
Oh, by the narrator.
David Lamb. By the narrator. It's
I've never
because
really
behind the camera it's them going, and they're encouraging, they're laughing along. And then you get David Lamb in the background, absolutely demolishing them.
Yeah.
And it's and that's not actually an issue. as in it's all lighthearted and fun.
Sure.
But like if you move that,
but there's something darker
more,
there.
But if you move that,
the implicit violence,
it's implicit, and sometimes it can be tough to watch because Barbara's just trying to make her dough from wild potatoes.
Yeah,
and she might have dropped a potato on the floor. It doesn't mean she needs to be rollicked as hard as she is by David Lamb.
I would say it's definitely a rollicking, is how I describe David Lamb's.
But it's great, and that's, I think, in a sense, there's a lot of the joy of British humour in it.
Yeah. As
everyone knows they're going to get absolutely taken the piss out of, it's light-hearted fun.
Whereas
with Louis Theroux, there's something a bit worse because with Come Dine With Me, it's a let's all laugh together because we're all a bit like this in some ways. No! It's not about fat and ugly. With Louis Theroux, there's more like, look at the freaks. Look at the circus show that's going on over here.
And I think Louis Theroux, in some ways, represents the way that specifically British state violence manifests itself, which is from on the surface, it's a very subtle, how the systemic sort of issues come in Britain. On the surface, it's quite a gentle country in many ways. There's a lot of very surface liberal things, but there is still the implicit judgment, the class dynamics, these little these tectonic shifts that are not discussed in the same way.
But you whack them on a cooking show,
but whereas in America it's a lot more out there. You're black.
Talk to me about that.
So you're poor, or you're a poor guy. Do you want to make
more
money?
I guess so. But it's subtlety. It's subtlety. We're subtly violent.
Yeah. Exactly. So I think that, but my main point was, if Louis Theroux emailed you, if I got an email,
which he often does,
if Louis Theroux sent me an email, immediately I'd be like, for fuck's sake, because then it's like, shit, I'm a weirdo.
Yeah. You're like, what am I doing
what
wrong?
am I doing wrong? Because none of the people seem to know they're fucking freaks.
Yeah, imagine.
And we're living a life which we don't think we're freaks. But if Louis starts interviewing us, then suddenly we're like,
what
are we?
What are we? Something's definitely up here. Well, because imagine you're like, what's something that, like, well, let's just say you're a serial swinger and all this stuff, and Louis Theroux emails you, and that's so normal to you that you're like, is it my job? Am I?
What is it that's weird about it?
I guess I've made quite a name in the cooking. I mean, I'm the president of the tennis club, so I guess it might be to do with the tennis.
Anyway, I'm late for the gangbang. So I'll think about this later. As he puts on his
gimp mask. Off he goes.
What
does Louis want? That's
the leather sort
driving in the car. He keeps changing, even while he's getting gangbanged. When did he say it would be next month?
And then when he watches the documentary, it was that. I'm a gangbanger.
It's because I'm a gangbanger. It's because I'm a gangbanger. It's a very good point.
Because I saw Louis Theroux on Joe Rogan's. He'd done a couple of appearances. It's some of the best episodes actually. And he was discussing that in one of the series he was briefly considering doing the LA comedy scene. So it's not that crazy far away from the scene I'm in. But I just wonder how that would come across if you're speaking to comedians. I feel it would put a really kind of quite sinister view on the whole thing because it would have the Louis edge. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And suddenly it would be like these freaks.
But how would these freaks? But I don't really know how he'd frame it.
Yeah.
He'd probably do it around freedom of speech stuff.
Yeah, probably.
But it's not enough of a freak opinion.
But it's
But he'd probably choose some pretty.
But the fact that was even on the cards means that we're not as far away from a Louis Theroux documentary as we may. It's not as ridiculous as we once thought. Well, the new batch of podcasters.
Podcasters could
they're
be
doing podcasters and
self-obsessed maniacs.
Fucking weirdos.
Yeah.
Well, so you just do it in your bedroom.
And you think
Horatio and Andrew record a podcast in their bedroom weekly to over 1,000 people
against their own mental health considerations, their own stress levels.
Louis would be sitting on the bed.
He'd be sitting right there.
On bed.
He'd be
and
sitting
suddenly
right there.
He'd be like, God.
And at the end, he'll be like, "Do you think that was interesting? Do you think that was worthwhile?"
So you talk a lot about Bradley Walsh and daytime TV. Is there? Suddenly be like, I don't know. Maybe we are fucking weird.
I don't know, Louis. He's a real, just his presence is a sign of concern. That you might be doing something a bit wrong.
Yeah, as soon as Louis Theroux turns up, shit's really hit the fan.
You need to probably make a few changes. Because if it's interesting enough for him and the BBC viewers,
When did you know you'd hit rock bottom? When I saw Louis. When
Louis arrived. When I got that email from Louis, I was like, yeah, cool. It changed. So I need to do something.
Don't know what.
But again,
I'll find out when it
it'd be great if you didn't know what it was and changed something completely different in your life. You just like change jobs or stop like playing tennis. Keep going for the tennis analogy.
Yeah. You got to.
You have to. I haven't played tennis in a while. We need to play squash.
We do need to play squash and live stream it on Patreon.
Yes.
Gripe. You have a gripe for me this week?
Yeah, I have a gripe.
Go
on. It's people that wear shorts in cold weather.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Everyone who wears shorts in cold weather knows it's cold. Everyone who wears shorts in cold weather, when I'm talking really cold weather, I've seen some people wearing shorts about recently where it's been fucking like 2 degrees or something.
Yeah.
You're too cold. You're too cold. Let's all accept that you're too cold, okay? Because no one is buying into the idea that you're warm. Like, no one's body runs warm enough that you are too hot in trousers.
Yeah.
In 2 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
That is not the case.
What triggered this?
Seeing people wearing shorts in public, right, show in the cold.
Okay, was this recent? Was this weekend?
I've seen them everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like I've been out a bit. And no, because I've also been thinking, because when I've been running, I wear shorts and a t-shirt.
Sure.
And I was talking about it with Taha, and he was briefly about it, saying that, like, because I see a lot of people like wearing a hoodie or something, which is completely fair. But for me, when you're running, you get hot. So the coldness is nice. But then it got me thinking, and then when I see people walking and doing just normal mundane tasks in shorts, it infuriates me because it's attention seeking. And there is a smugness that goes hand in hand with wearing shorts in cold weather.
Yeah.
That infuriates me because all they're doing, as I say, when we go back to point A, everyone knows you're too cold. You know you're too cold.
Yeah, we all know.
I see you loosely shivering with your knees. Your knees are loosely knocking together.
You got good. Your hairs are on edge.
What in the world is possessing you to wear shorts?
Yeah.
Other than, look at me, I'm the kind of man.
Always men.
Whoops, said it. Drop the gender bomb. Yeah. Man. Whoa. Hold on to your cornflakes. Man who wears shorts walking around in freezing cold weather. Yeah. That's it.
My 2 key ideas of the 2 men who I think of who wear shorts in cold weather is when I briefly worked in my dad's offices, the IT guy, Eastern European, bit incelly, bald beard, would wear shorts all year round. And he definitely saw it as sort of like his manliness. It's like,
I'm not a suit.
Yeah, and definitely.
It's holding on to some sort of working class edge in a way, maybe.
It was more. It more feels like it's less working class edge would feel like a more traditional approach. I think it's more internet-y. Been othered by society because you're a bit incelly.
And your best protest is to wear shorts instead of trousers.
And then the other guy was, I think, French, but seemed a bit too burly to be French. I don't really think of many like super huge French guys.
It's true. The rugby team always surprises me.
Really? It must be, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay, yeah. There's a lot of big men. Well, there's 15 of them. I can tell you there's 15 at least, minimum.
But the one of the security guards at Vauxhall Comedy Club wears shorts, and he's quite a scary man. But I think he probably does it to add to his menace. He wears it all year round.
A security guard.
Yeah, and he stands still.
That's the worst I've ever heard.
Stand still.
Can I change my gripe? Can I change my gripe to that man?
Yeah,
he stands all year
round, and he's one of the grumpiest guys.
Well, because he's freezing.
Yeah, probably.
Because he's so fucking cold.
He wears a jacket and shorts. You know.
I don't understand it. I like security. Well, at least there's some sort of potential rationality in his motivation there to seem hard, therefore to inspire fear in people. Like, you don't want to, in fairness, you don't want to fuck figure. In a way, you don't want to fuck with a security guard who's wearing shorts in 2 degrees Celsius.
No.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But the guys who I see walking around, clearly just doing errands or just going to the shops or something. But if you've gone to Tesco, I see people with carrier bags. Like they've bought milk for the week.
Macho nerds.
Yeah.
It's macho
nerd. Yeah.
It's masculine nerds.
And I think, is it because they think shorts are cool?
Yeah.
And they look good in shorts?
Yeah. They're probably like Doctor Who.
Just put some trousers on.
But more importantly, where are you getting your bookmarks?
I only get my bookmarks from one place and only have got them from one place.
And only ever will get them from one place because we've got a lifetime supply of bookmarks.
One, because I'm not entirely sure of any other outlets that do them.
Yeah, I don't think there are any other outlets.
Because these guys have done them out in competition. Yeah. They have...
The brutal capitalistic method of Bookmark Boys as a corporation...
shocks me on a daily basis.
It's shocking. It's sort of terrifying and awe-inspiring in the sublime scale of it all. In the way that they've cornered the market and destroyed their competition.
They started off...
no prejudice.
They started off as a nice...
extreme prejudice.
They started off as a kind, local, independent business when we first started advertising. Yeah. Since then, they are turning into one of the biggest global powers we've seen.
Yeah, and
forget big oil. Forget big pharma. Big Bookmark.
They are crushing the competition. Every single time a small subsidiary... Bookmark store might open, immediately destroyed, priced out the game.
It's always a fire. Yeah. It's their signature move. And there's just one slightly charred bookmark with the owner's face laughing at the top.
But the thing is, there's too much pain in the world right now. You can't be taking on the issues in big bookmarks.
You can't.
Onto there's Russia, there's Ukraine.
Really
you can't be fucking
and to be
worried about, small ethically sourced bookmarks.
And in reality, we need the economic and political power of the Bookmark Boys to help us fight this war.
Because it's an economic war,
Yeah, it's an information war. It's an information war, and Bookmark Boys are hoarding all the information possible from books.
Yeah. All right, that's it. I think you did.
Yeah, I think we nailed it at the end of that.
You got it.
Has she ever commented on our adverts?
She said she once gave me more money a month to invest in props, but then I didn't do anything, so she took the money away.
Of course she did.
Yeah.
What props?
Well, she said just £10.
I don't know anything of it.
I don't know.
That would have been great. We could have got a fat suit.
We could have got. It's true. Actually, I should.
We need to use these.
We should have done that. Actually.
Yeah. Like a foam finger. But we don't have enough foam fingers. Don't talk about Ukraine after
But on a more serious note, Russia-Ukraine's kicked off. I mean, we did a Patreon episode where we discussed it literally a day before the invasion kicked off, and in that time, I feel like I've discussed it loads and we talked about it, even though on the main episode we haven't even discussed it once.
Didn't even bring it up, yeah.
And it's been 7 days and it's been fucking mental.
It's been crazy.
It's been absolutely insane, 7 days.
Yeah.
But as shocking as it was, I'm finding it, of all the crazy shit that's happened, the most just incredible response. Like, it's really quite amazing how Ukraine's responded in a way that in my head I had that sort of anxiety, that sort of doomsday feeling when Russia were gonna, and the West seemed so weak, Russia was gonna take back Ukraine and then the West were gonna do nothing about it. But this has been extraordinary. I mean, people are dying. It's obviously a huge tragedy, but you cannot deny in the way that when the people would arrive at your door asking for a debt that's not yours.
Are you comparing my erection to the Ukrainian people?
I am.
Because I think I would be too.
But I'm saying the feeling that that I know this is getting really stressful for Putin, and that there's something unbelievably satisfying about this not going to plan.
Yeah.
There's that in his head this is an absolute disaster. People are turning on him. I don't know what he thought, but Putin doesn't put a foot wrong.
Yeah.
And now this fucking comedian Ukraine is standing up to him. The world all hates him. And my dad's very young girlfriend.
Your dad's girlfriend's involved as well.
No, she's like, fuck Putin. Everyone.
Oh, she's Russian. Sorry.
Yeah, she's fully Russian. She was a Putin fan before.
Was she?
Most Russians.
What changed her mind?
The Ukraine.
The
thing.
war, yeah.
Yes. I found it all so. Of all the things, I found it the most emotionally moving.
Just that kind of that stand and
the people on Snake Island, which apparently are actually alive, but the original story was that there was 13 people on this island of the Black Sea, and this giant warship on loudspeaker says, "Give up the island," basically.
Yeah, I heard this.
And they said that there's a video of them going, "Make sure it's turned up. Make sure it's turned up. Go fuck yourself." And then apparently they all died.
So
that's
bad.
just incredible.
It's so badass, and it's this form of like. It's this form of nationalism I'm almost, in a sense, jealous of.
Yeah.
When you're kind
of...
Which is clearly in the right. Being oppressed, which we've never been oppressed. Let me be oppressed for a minute. But no, just, that that resolve that they have after, and I guess when you've got the global community backing you, but
the game,
yeah. But what the
what?
Well, I didn't hear what you said. I just repeated whatever. I'm in the middle of a thought.
Did you say the game?
The game.
Okay.
What did you say? The gang. The national community, the gang. But because these are some fucking hard motherfuckers in Ukraine, basically, and that's what the documentary.
The documentary
Winter
which
we
all. I watched it the first time a couple of days ago. Andrew's seen it a couple of times. The Winter on Fire documentary about 2014. I don't know how more people aren't talking about it now. It's the most relevant fucking thing.
Yeah, I watched it on Thursday as soon as it happened, just because I hadn't watched it for a few years.
It explains so much. It explains
why they're not, why they are fucking fighting.
It's crazy. If you guys haven't seen, because we all vaguely heard about the 2014 thing, but it's such a complex thing that it wasn't really dissected well in the news. It wasn't diluted well for the kind of shit that was going on. This documentary has extraordinary amounts of footage about basically how when the pro-Russian president, who was a puppet for Putin, purposely turned down the will of the people to
a Putin puppet,
a Putin puppet to join the EU. The young people organised to stage loads of revolutions, to stage a revolution, and the police force
just a protest at the start,
but the police force from the off.
Yeah, it was
mental.
Like
nothing I'd ever seen. Iron battens, fully thing. The first time they arrived, just smacking.
It was a specific. I can't remember their names, but it was like the riot police,
who a lot of them were ex-criminals.
No, that was a different thing. Okay, so there's it wasn't, because there's the police, and then there's the police that deal with like riots and stuff. Yeah. Because it was quite a kind of a country in upheaval. A lot of it was that they'd have a specific branch, like a massive amount of police who were just like would be there in full body armor, riot shields kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's the switching of the batons to iron, which is mental. Yeah. And just you're looking at this, and it's just one of the first things. It's one of the first kind of political events in this way that every single thing is filmed. Yeah. Which makes it one of the most incredible documentaries.
But also reminds you of what the other shit must have been. You know? Imagine they had cameras at Peterloo. Imagine the shit they would have seen.
It doesn't even bear thinking about. Let's not bring up Peterloo in these stuff.
There was a guy manically sketching just to get one frame.
The horror.
You know, and but this is like
it's visceral
4K footage.
It's visceral and it's fucking horrendous. And you look at that, and when the impression I get a lot of it, we're looking at from a country who is, usually the oppressor, and also we haven't really been through much turmoil. Anything that's kind of necessitated bringing kind of like the end to the government, this kind of this level of upheaval, and just so like the fight that they have within them, and then because partly it sparked from them the pro-Russian prime minister not wanting to join the EU, but then because of the police brutality that happened and it is mental police brutality.
Crazy.
As in, it's like...
So there was a shot, and this is the kind of... It got way worse and worse, but early on, when the police started attacking protesters, where all the protesters were running down a street, this, 6-year-old dude fell over, and then every time... 60. Every single time a riot police officer ran past this dude, they'd start laying into him. So it wasn't like trying to...
It wasn't...
What was weird is it's like, in my head, the riot police, it's like, when you've got them on the run, that's sort of like, fine. It's more so, we'll use it if we have to. But it's the fact that when one falls over,
aggression.
Just keep hitting it.
Just
keep doing it. 6 of them would go around just smacking them.
It was every single one of them that passed them hit them.
Yeah,
hit the guy on the floor. Every single one.
It was almost like they'd forgotten that someone else had hit them and thought, well, no one's hit this dude.
Because they just...
Probably.
Yeah, but that's kind of it, because they won't be seeing that everyone else
just giving them a smack,
And it's just... I don't know, because what's the horrifying thing about it? There's no tactical element to it. It's pure violence, pure aggression, and for no reason. And again, it's just like such a fascinating documentary to watch, because that was caught on camera before we were seeing in this documentary. That was then publicized, which then brings up all this fucking anger, even more so, fucking justifiably. And then you get this kind of explosion.
But then it went on for so long. It went on for so long. They stood. They got to basically a point where they protested for so long that they were all willing. These are young people, university educated, probably have a fair bit in their lives. It's not like they have literally nothing to lose. But all of them seem just ready to die. And that was in 2014.
I think part of it is because it was because it went on for so long. Like there was this one story where the guy was like, after there was, because they basically elected. There was a really contentious vote. It was a rigged election.
Yeah.
And there was, but to try and like win the election, this pro-Russian prime minister said that they would join the EU basically. Yeah. And then he reneged on that or negged on it. I never know if it's negged or reneged.
To neg or to renege? That is
everyone
the question.
says renege, but then surely what's a neg?
Neg sounds negative. Yeah, take away.
Sounds like anyway.
To renege.
Yeah. Comment in below,
please.
But so once that happened, there was this one guy who was saying, he was on Facebook, saw a guy, someone he knew said, "Oh, there's this protest happening." Then joined all these protest groups or this protest event on Facebook, and then he said he shut his laptop and didn't reopen his laptop for like another year because he didn't go home. Because they just stayed in the same place.
Oh, fuck.
Because they occupied, what's it called? The
Maiden.
Just
Maiden or something. Yeah. The square.
Yeah. And just the length of time that went on. And I think part of that is what happened in terms of, because it was a semi-revolution in some ways. Because once they'd camped, they made this astonishing camp and like barricades all around it. Inspired partly by the peaceful protest that was happening and the police brutality that then happened because of it, inspired by that, and saying, you know what, that's fucking enough. Like, we've done a peaceful protest, you've beat us up completely unnecessarily, and we don't believe, and you've lied to us. The Prime Minister has lied to us. Occupy the city, loads of other shit happens, but like camping out there for a year, the resolve and the kind of community aspects of staying there for a year, fighting against this corrupt, aggressive, violent fucking government and police. Yeah. Then by the end of it, there's literally, you're getting shot at. It's not even rubber bullets. They're replacing rubber bullets with real bullets. Yeah. And then fast forward to fucking 2022. Try and take on those cunts. These guys know what the fuck they're doing. They're badasses.
Watching the documentary, it felt a lot like, you're never gonna win. These guys they've literally been here before.
Yeah, they're not fucking about.
It's not. They're not these kind of.
They're used to being oppressed and pissed off.
And then they're not ready to. Also, how hard they've worked. They're not ready to lose that all.
And when I say used to being oppressed, they're used to people trying to oppress them.
So it was. I would highly recommend Winter on Fire.
Fun. Yeah. Me too.
But yeah, it is certainly. From feeling incredibly anxious to feeling a bit more inspired by the last.
I think as part of it was like if this was happening to London, you'd think, how much would we fucking?
Well, part of me feels like if
that was actually like, be inspired
if it was like the last stand, what it brings out of you would be, and part of you, it is sort of amazing to see what can be brought out of you when all the shit's gone and how low stakes our lives really are.
I think we'd dive into the information war.
Yeah, definitely.
This would be our war.
Well, in the way that a lot of artists kind of made their names through wars, certainly in the beginning of the 20th century, Orwell in Homage to Catalonia, Hemingway also in the Spanish Civil War. You had the war poets. The modern day version of that would be us making content on the front line. It would be us making satirical sketches. Would be the war poets.
And we'd really the sketches would be so much more on the nose. It would be much more like we've got to
hit the algorithm
as Russians.
Wilfred Owen never had to hit the algorithm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like 18th century comedy.
Of course.
Of course. Well, it'll be just us like dressed up as Russians, just like falling over and bonking each other on the head.
It's got to be simple.
It's got to be simple because it's the message is people just want to laugh and and you need to take down your oppressor.
I think we could be like a Vera Lynn style thing as well, mate, because it's the kind of we either do the kind of the war poet thing where we artistically represent the darkness of the war,
or we summon the emotions.
we become the kind of the pressure valve to let have
we can certainly summon all the incels.
Oh, easy.
We can get it could be Gordon Kermit's incel army. And the incel army deploys to the front line.
Darth Vader's penis, orangutan cock face.
Yeah, these are all the whole gang. The whole gang. And, well, that would help with the information more because we'll just get them to kind of troll various pages.
But in the surrealness of it, because in the way that Putin feels like a leader out of time. Poopin. Vladimir Putin.
How did that tweet go, by the way?
I took it down.
Yeah, I thought you might.
It felt off-brand. In the way that he feels like a leader out of time from World War II, he doesn't feel very modern anyway. There is a selection of leaders. Now we have a fucking comedian.
The most astonishing point in some ways about this conflict, this war, this occupation, whatever is the correct term to use, is that 3 of the key players are cultural icons in a way, or at least cultural, just cultural people in culture rather than traditional politicians.
Sure.
You've got a comedian who is a prime minister.
Yeah.
There was a big scandal because the Pakistani prime minister Imran Khan came over and met Putin quite soon to the invasion, which is controversial. He used to play cricket.
Really well.
And then you've got the mayor of Kiev, Vladimir Klitschko. And it's just astonishing, like, reading about the most serious world event, international relations rather than
I've seen
world event that's happened for fucking decades. And you've just got a comedian, a boxer, and a cricketer. Just like, and I mean, in fair, like, you wouldn't like in a way it's working so perfectly for like the Ukrainian fight.
Yeah.
Because like the comedian, what was his name again?
Zelensky,
smashing it, of course.
Yeah.
And like being kind of charismatic and also just like lacing up his boots and fucking fighting. But then you've got Klitschko as the mayor of Kiev.
Yeah.
That really makes Kiev an intimidating place.
Definitely.
It's like he's we've been through this before. We fight.
Yeah.
We fight. And him just standing on the barricade, because he's features quite a lot in the documentary as well.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
But he's a bit of a bad guy in some ways because he's with the political establishment. But like, it's like him on TV is one of the most successful heavyweight boxers in the world. It's like, come and take our city.
Yeah. It does make you think that politics is definitely becoming a less legitimized profession where you have to have gone through all these rungs, which kind of makes sense. There's something good about seeing someone lead a country and then you're like, what else did he do? Oh, he was a ballet dancer. Oh, let me check out his stuff on YouTube. And be able to see, like, everyone has to do something completely unique beforehand. The fact that Zelensky has all these sketches online, has a sitcom. It's just funny that you see him down under in the military, like a World War II president,
which I guess,
and
in
then
a sense,
you see him doing satirical sketches on TV.
It's one of the because it's definitely a trend that's obviously happening in politics at the moment. You got Trump doing the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the biggest question that will often come from it is like their ability to handle crises.
Yeah.
And so I think it's one of the things that we'll see now is like, does it really matter about the kind of being a career politician in order to deal with these kind of things? And I think something like, I'm not sure how well like a comedian might be able to handle an economic crisis.
Yeah.
Do you know, like a financial crash? Do you know what I mean?
What, just the kind of...
Because you'd want, like in a war, I think a lot of it, you leave it to the generals and you're there to inspire the people.
Inspiring, moralising.
With like a financial crash.
Yeah.
I'd like someone with an economics degree.
Yeah, probably.
At least, and I know there's a lot of delegation that happens.
Yeah, you can just get
a lot of it, but
a boffin.
You can get a boffin in.
Yeah,
and but it shows how much of kind of a politician's role is more about theatre than anything else.
Definitely. So that means that we definitely have a shot of power.
One day. What our joint seat.
I think well, both of us being leaders. Well, I certainly think you'd be the face of it. I think you would definitely. I think you'd be good at the kind of diplomatic. You'd be good at playing the game of politics.
So what the fuck are you doing?
But I think
we've just established that's all it is.
But I'm worried about me in power because I know how to use it.
You've played a lot of Civilization.
I've played a lot of Civilization. I'm just saying that from everything I've learned, I just feel like if I had my fingers on the levers, I just feel I could use it to devastating effect. And I just don't know if that effect would be good or bad. I can't even know.
And I'll go down in history as maybe the biggest monster. Yeah. Because I was the face of this.
You're the face, but I knew what you were doing. I'm a big picture thinker. So I just think I could easily start getting in my own head. And you
can start accumulating grain.
It's true. I've looked at a lot of dictators. I know what you have to do, you know, create a fake reality.
It's never a good sign when we're talking about us in power when you've said, I've learned from a lot of great dictators. It's a
the goats of the game, you know.
Yeah. Again,
the Michael Jordans.
Again, when you're comparing Stalin to Jordan, it suggests you might be in it for the wrong reasons.
But yeah, no, I'd be terrified about. I'd be terrified of me in power. I just think it would be devastating.
Do you actually think it would?
I don't think. I just think it would be
because you almost have quite expansionist minds.
Yeah. So I think.
You don't if you're not in power, but if it's you,
I think you should try and keep me away from power because I don't think it would be Clown Town. I don't think it would be just like an incompetent slut. I think it would turn into something quite nasty.
Now you say it, yeah. I
think in another life it could have been pretty nasty, you know.
Yeah.
So just keep me on here.
Yeah.
Don't give me any power.
I reckon if you were to suddenly change to a politics kind of thing, and you were being successful, you got into prime minister, I'd be killed very quickly.
Oh, very quickly.
I've got way too much dirt, and I'd also be out there on the soapboxes.
Exactly. Yeah. It'd be about suppressing a lot of media, creating a complete.
It would be very Russia-esque. Actually.
Yeah, definitely.
It would be very Russia-esque.
Yeah. So because it is fun. Yeah. They're all playing Civilization. But yes, that's the end of the main episode. But we'll be carrying on this episode on Patreon. Subscribe for £3 a month, starting at £3. And
we've got a good gang there now.
We do. We have now 60 patrons.
Such a lot of them.
It's honestly so sick. It's like such a great laugh. Like everyone's so sound. But we've got like 50 episodes on there now. Maybe and then with bonus stuff, it goes up to about 60.
So it's not even £3 a month for 4 episodes. You get like stuff 50 there. More.
There's a shitload of stuff there.
What's that? 25 hours.
It's hours.
25 hours.
Hours of shit on there. So I definitely think it's worth it. It's very cheap. Considering all the shit you spend on you fucking deviants.
You do. You spend it on drugs.
You spend it on drugs, poppers to expand your
But why don't you send it to me so I can spend it on drugs?
And sex swings for his acrobatic
for my acrobatics
exploits. Conquests.
Conquests.
Yeah, conquests. That's where you'd get caught up. I think you'd get caught up in sexual scandal. That would be. You'd be like, you know what you'd be like? You'd be like Anthony Weiner.
Anthony Weiner. We've so been through this.
Because he does have a.
He's
similar
been through
vibe.
this. He didn't address it well. I'd run on that platform. I'd run on being a sexual deviant. Yeah. I'd run on it because I'm fed up. Because like Trump runs on being kind of this change to the political establishment.
I'd be like,
what's that? Yeah, I'm a sexual deviant. Of course we are, because I'm not pretending that I'm not, and we all are in some ways, aren't we?
Yeah. Meanwhile,
you're just fucking invading different countries. Yeah, maybe this wouldn't go. Maybe I wouldn't be a very good face for it. I'd be caught up in fucking sexting scandals.
Yeah, it's good as long as the people are worried
I've been being photographed at swingers parties with drugs, and meanwhile, and that would do.
And I'm just
that would divert attention away from your power conquest.
My slow territorial expansions, a lot of soft power these days, but it just slowly working my way. My sphere of influence slowly growing.
In a way, it's the perfect crime. I think it could really work because I'd wear the nonsense criticism.
Definitely, you'd bounce them off. You'd be deflecting all that
whilst
shit.
What the media should be attending
it's talking about me, the puppet master.
Is you in the war room, slowly moving tanks to different places,
just justifying invasions.
Maybe don't subscribe to the Patreon.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.